All right, y'all, this is part 4. I hope I don't run out of space. I shouldn't. Okay, so, and I had a dream of the baby. Come around the edge of the bed, just saw the arm, and he yanked my pants leg, okay? It was a crib sitting, and it was me and her standing in the room. My parental figure was laying on the bed, and it was something about a conversation or something of that nature. She ended up walking out. She left, okay? Very symbolic dream. Very symbolic dream, okay? So, she ended up leaving, and I informed her about this dream. Next thing you know, something came out about a miscarriage. Okay. I ended up going to check on her, whatever. I could feel the tension. Okay. I could still feel the tension. I could still feel like I could feel it all day long. But at the end of the day, that's an internal problem. Okay. So, I ended up checking on her, whatever, and I left. Okay. I ended up getting a little backstory about the whole situation. Okay. And it came out of her mouth. All right. And so next thing you know, that whole situation came out. I ended up telling, well, he knew by now or whatever, my son's father. And it was just a mess. Okay. It was said from like people on somebody on his side close to him, all the whole spiel about, well, people ain't happy for y'all, okay. Anywho, we ended up, me and her, I felt the tension, but we didn't like part ways or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? And that particular night, we had gotten into it. Me and my son's father, he said how I ain't did shit for him. Just all of this, you know what I'm saying? Which is fine, okay? God is all seeing and all knowing, okay? I was like, you know what? I'm getting ready to go. Got my shit, got my kids, and I left, okay? I ended up going, it was about to be this big dispute because when my female sibling came down to the house to get me and my children, she brought her counterpart with her, okay? Which I had made it known I didn't want to be around him. He wasn't allowed at my house either, okay? But I brought him anyway. When he came to the door, he was smiling, okay? My baby daddy saw him smiling. It was about to be this big shit. He tried to say that I knew. No, the fuck I didn't. And it still stands. I said that day I didn't, and I'm going to say it again today. Okay? Anywho, ended up going down there. We ended up staying with her for a little bit. The time that we were there, we experienced a lot of different things. Okay? It's things that I personally experienced, and it's things that my offspring experienced. Okay? I know magic was being done. That's why it's all going back now. Okay? It was a situation where, and this is the thing, like I said, I pray, but I also do return to senders. Okay? I also protect me and my offspring. Okay? It's in me. All right? First incident that happened was, we would hear things in the attic. Okay? Or things in the roof, I shall say. And nobody lived over top of her. Okay? Nobody lived over top of her. I had mentioned it to her. She laughed it off. Okay? So that was number one. Number two, my daughter heard growling. Okay? The next thing, my other daughter seen an entity that they tried to send towards us. Okay? The other thing, one day, my daughter had gotten sick out of nowhere, my oldest daughter. Okay? So I told y'all about my daughter in 2017. Okay? My oldest daughter got sick out of nowhere. And this was like in August or September. Okay? And they did blood work on her and everything. Couldn't figure out what was going on. Okay? But judgment, karma for whomever is involved. Okay? This particular day, we had left to go and get her medicine. Okay? And she had came to the door. She said she heard a knock on the door. Okay? And when she heard the knock on the door, she said she cracked the door, and whatever it was, I know it was some sort of entity. Okay. It kind of knocked her back a little bit. Okay. She said that it looked like my female sibling. Okay. And like I said, I listen to my kids before anybody. Okay. Immediately when she called and said this was happening, luckily we were back in front of the house getting ready to come in. Okay. Immediately my female sibling said, oh, she probably being dramatic. No. My baby gets better. Okay. And one particular night, I had called because at this time, I had it was an aunt that came over to visit. Okay. While we were there, she came over to visit. Somebody that my female sibling hangs out with a lot. Okay. And, I had called a Uber for them. Okay. Hold on. Spirit said, go back. When I initially got there to my female sibling's house, she wanted to have a talk. Okay. This talk was about what happened in reference to her counterpart trying to talk to me. Okay. Within this talk, because she didn't want to hear the truth, because see, the truth cut deep. Okay. And it cannot be denied. Okay. And God gonna always stand 10 and more behind me. Okay. When we started to have the talk that she wanted to have, she didn't want to have it no more. Okay. She stood up as if she wanted to try to attack me as I sat down. Okay. Went on in her room, whatever maybe. Okay. So moving forward, like I said, called the Uber because they were going out. Okay. The aunt and her. Okay. Called them an Uber because I'm like, look, y'all need to stop driving drunk. Because see, when you drive drunk, you don't have to it's not just about you. Okay. It's innocent people. All right. We have to start thinking about other people. Okay. So got them an Uber, whatever. They went out, whatever. It was a cool, calm, collective night. All right. I stayed home with my babies. Okay. Because I didn't like going out. All right. Because it was certain things by this time I had witnessed. And I was like, nah, bro. Okay. So they ended up coming back to her house. Because like I said, I was at her house. Okay. So they ended up coming back and I think we were asleep. So that morning, I'm in the living room or whatever, and I'm like listening to music, I'm praying, I'm talking to God, okay? And journaling. I was journaling. And so I had my headphones on. My babies, they was in the back room playing. And my babies come running in there and they like, Mom, come here, something wrong with Auntie. Okay. And I'm like, what? But when I stood up, I felt this sensation through my body. I'm standing and I'm looking down the hallway. And my babies is telling me, and I got chills now. My babies is telling me like, Mom, something wrong with Auntie. She in the room. Okay. Mind you, her bedroom was right across from the back room. Okay. Where my offspring were. Okay. So I'm like, okay. And I stand up. I grab my Florida water because I can already feel the energy. Okay. I'm rubbing myself down. Okay. I walks down the hallway, and when I walks down the hallway, I get to the back room. Back room, if you're walking this way, it's on the left-hand side. Okay. The aunt is in the bedroom, in the bed, still asleep on the right-hand side. Okay. I goes into the room, and when I goes into the room, she's sitting on, she had an ottoman and a computer in that room. Okay. And she's sitting on the ottoman, and she's like leaned over. Okay. And I could visibly see that she had used the bathroom on the ottoman. Okay. I touch her. And when I touch her, she's hot as fuck. Hot as fuck. Okay. I'm like, come on, because let me get you go back in your room. You know what I'm saying? So she still have sleep or whatever the hell going on. Okay. Takes her back in there. And mind you, I got Florida water on my hands. When I touch her, she growls. She's still hot. Okay? I leave out the room. Go back into the living room and I pray. I just pray. Okay? I'm not, it didn't scare me because that's probably like, I've came in contact with energies like that before. You know what I'm saying? I had in which I'm going to cut in and share this other moment where one day as I was in high school, I was probably like 17. And my female parental figure, she used to do taxes in the mall. And one day we would like go out there and hang out and stuff like that. And hold on, y'all. We would go up there and hang out, okay? And one day we were standing in front of her where she worked, okay? It was a tax office. And we were just standing there talking. It was me, my female sibling, and a friend of ours that we went to school with. This Caucasian woman walked into the mall, had nothing, no purse, no bag, no nothing, just herself, okay? She came through the front doors of the mall. I'm standing there in front of the tax office, y'all. True story, I swear to God. She walks straight to me. And she stands in front of me. I knew she was a demon. I could pick it up off of her. Me and her standing there, eye to eye. Eye to eye. My female sibling and our friend asked, do you know her? I said, no, but I know who she is. She stood in front of me. I stood in front of her. I did not budge. She turned around and she walked back out the mall. True story. Can't make it up. Okay? So, that incident happened at her house, at my sibling's house, with me putting my hands on her and her growling. Okay? I knew then I had to get the fuck out of there. Okay? That was the beginning of me learning that I needed to get the fuck out of there. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Okay? It's 14:22 on the clock. So, it was another incident where, mind you now, one night she was on the phone with her person, okay? And in there drinking. This is not a secret, okay? It was a conversation being had. I'm in the living room with my babies, okay? And next thing you know, her door was closed. But next thing you know, I hear a loud boom, okay? I runs in there. When I run in there, she then fell and hit her TV stand, okay? Busted this, okay? I help her up, 15:17 on the clock, okay? I help her up. I takes the wine bottle, okay? Me and her will always have conversations about how she wanted to get help or just a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of conversations in reference to that. But all in all, in the same breath, it was, I don't know how, or it's hard to explain. I see why it was hard to explain. So it went from that to me and her, we ended up having a argument about, I ended up having my medicine had to be switched, okay? And I used to go to this place, I cannot remember the name of it, but it starts with a P. And it's basically a place that helps people prepare them for if they don't die, okay? This is what they had me in. So anywho, when I would go here, the people would say like, look, don't worry about what family has to say because you have to be on pain medicine and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? Because mind you now, like I said, I had a spinal fusion. Okay. I don't know, like this right here, a lot of times this is why this is like inflamed here a little. Okay. But I've been doing natural things. We're going to get to that. Anywho, this particular night, we got into it because she tried to use the excuse of them switching my medicine. Okay. Well, I don't want you to be on that medicine, child. Bye. Okay. It went from that to her speaking about my kids. Okay. And then from that to we going into her counterpart. She brings that back up. That's the real, that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? So she starts to say, this is what puts the icing on the cake. And this is why I assure you that I'm not confused. I assure you. And the fact that I've been gifted since I came to this motherfucker. Okay? So, she says to me, she brings up her person in the midst of all this, the real reason, the reason why you're bothered. Okay? Somebody I don't want. I don't want. The fuck? So she brings that up and she says to me, her exact words to me were, she threatened me. She threatened me. Okay? She said, she threatened me with, he knows people that can do whatever, basically that can get things done. He knows people in high places. Mm-hmm. So the fuck what? I know people too. God and these ancestors that ain't playing around this bitch. Ain't missing a beat. She threatens me. In that time, at that moment, she threatened me. Okay? So, that next morning, she was so bothered. 1919 on the clock, can't make it up. She was so bothered, she took it upon herself to go and have a conversation with my son's father. Okay? He has the recording. He recorded her. Okay? Not to mention now, let me back it up. There was an argument before she lost that baby. Okay? There was an argument in front of my house. This was before I ended up with her. Okay? There was an argument had on my front porch. Okay? This was after it had came out about her counterpart trying to talk to me. This was afterwards because the argument went like this. She wanted me to accept him. I refused to. I said, I am only obligated to accept you and my niece or nephew. I don't have to accept him. My son's father was in the house playing the game when then she then proceeded to say, well, call him out here because I got to ask him something. I said, okay, mind you, he and I weren't together. I ain't never been pressed over no nigga. I promise you. I said, okay, hey, come. I went to the door. Come out here. She said she got to ask you something. He comes out. She's standing right there. I'm standing right in the middle. Didn't you say you weren't gonna marry her? You gonna marry me? He just looked at her. He was crying. He really couldn't say nothing. He did, try to deny it. But you want to know what I said? I didn't give a fuck. Y'all both could have each other. Stop playing with me. So she took it upon herself to mosey on down to him, have a conversation. Okay, because at this time, my son was with me. And up until now, y'all hear everything the fuck going on. So she tried to make it seem as if, oh, I'm being the voice of reason. No, bitch, you was pressed. You was upset. You won't be no voice of reason. You have an attachment. A lot of y'all do. So 2219, I can't make it up. 2220 and 2222. So, she comes back up, okay? Calls me in the room. Baby, I know energy. You know what I'm saying? Calls me in the room. Oh, I want to talk to you. I went down and I told, I gave permission to come and see, him whenever I said, okay, that's fine. But at the end of the day, I knew the real reason. I knew the real reason behind why you went. It wasn't sincere. You thought it was going to hurt me. No, baby. Mm-mm. And all in all, with you doing all this, you're still hurt. You're still unhealed. You're still bothered. So, after this, I'm in another incident. Upstairs, doing my baby's hair. This at night. Okay? She come out the room. She like, mind you now, how I know about the recordings, because that next day, I want to say it was either that next day or a couple days later. It wasn't that many days later. Okay? he came up there and played the recording as we were sitting in the car, okay? And I cried about it, but it is what it is. It is what it is, baby. So anywho, ended up, we upstairs, I'm doing my baby's hair. She comes out her room, she goes, she's like, I'm getting ready to go outside on the phone. I'm like, cool, okay, whatever. All right, got her bottle with her. She goes outside. Next thing you know, she come in one more time and go back outside, okay? I could already pick up the energy that something won't right. Next thing you know, it's on her door. And I hear it say, such and such police, 2444. I'm like, what the fuck? I goes downstairs, opens the door. I see flashing lights and everything. Do you live here? I'm like, yeah. Well, we have your sister in the back of the ambulance. I'm like, what? What the fuck? She says that her gun went off. Really? Really? I already knew it was bullshit when I heard it. They take her to the hospital. My parental figures go up there with her, sit up there with her. She come home. Okay? When she come home, everybody thought it was funny because you got, and my thing is, we need to be parental figures because it's certain shit that you don't egg on. It's certain shit that you don't get a joy out of creating tension. That night, oh, mind you, my baby's crying upset. That night, oh, they thought it was funny. Oh, here go my female parental figure. Did you say the real reason, the real thing about what happened? Demons, bro. When I tell you demons, bro. Did you tell her the real, what really happened? You ain't got to tell me when I got God right here. So the following day, or it was a couple days later, whatever it was, that female parental figure wanted to pay a visit. They always like to visit. Wanted to pay a visit. She comes there. Oh, did she tell you? Well, I'm going to tell you it was done purposely. Suppose she told her this. Okay? And that me and my offspring were to blame. Really? Not only that, it was talked about my clothing. What clothes I wear. Mind you now, I have on a dress and I put shorts on under it. My clothes was talked about. How I wasn't looking for a place to stay, but you was the same. You would take me to the places I applied for to look at them. And guess what? Guess how God worked? Because a couple days later, a bitch got a phone call that I was approved for my townhome. Careful. Had to eat them words. Ended up moving October 15th of 2021. Okay? Moved into my place. When I tell you I was so grateful. God came through once again, like he always do. Y'all don't believe though. Moved into my new place. Me and my babies. Yeah, they helped to move the stuff in. As we were there, unpack my stuff, okay? Getting my house together, all right? BD came over, my son's father, and his family member, okay? Came over there, whatever. In the midst of everything, if I knew what I knew now, okay? There were some underwear that belongs to me, okay? He wanted them. I gave them to him. Okay? Next thing you know, we had started, we were co-parenting just fine. You know what I'm saying? Everything was going good. December came around, all right? He did give me money towards my baby's Christmas, okay? Christmas Eve came. He came over Christmas Eve, okay? And when he came over there, they opened up some of their stuff that night, okay? And then we went to bed. When we went to bed, it was me, Okay, so the way my bed is like this. I was like on the outside. My bed was pushed against the wall. I was on the outside near my bathroom in my bedroom. Okay, our son was in between us, and he was near the wall. Okay, mind you, I'm still celibate. Okay, he wanted to fuck. I rejected him. Next morning, got up and left. Okay, so next thing you know, I'm gonna do part 5.